Beautiful souls, welcome back and happy day. My name is Nicole, and as usual, I'm here to give you guys some support, guidance, words of advice as we continue on this journey of life. And if you have been called to this reading, then clearly you are a high vibrational being and you are in the know that there are big changes that are taking place in the world at this time. And for those of us who want to get onto the other side of these changes without there being too much turbulence and too many challenges and too much shaking about, then you are clearly aware that there is a deep need to be going inwards and to be listening more deeply to the calling of our soul. So before we get into the reading, I just wanted to share a message here, which is to help you guys remember that, we are soul beings having a human experience, and each and every one of us that is here at this time, our soul, our higher self, chose to be incarnated at this time because we have a mission to play out, and each individual human being is unique and inherently different. So the sooner we can start to fully connect to our mission and accept that we are here to be part of a greater plan, then the sooner things will be able to flow more easily with peace and grace. So, sometimes it's difficult to really fully comprehend the mission that we're here to do, but really the mission is to be ourselves and really to listen to our hearts and to do the things that we love and to do the things that bring us joy, because that is inherently who we are. The things that come so naturally to us are the things that we are meant to be doing. So just wanted to share that message with you. So before we get into the reading, I feel like it's a good idea to just clear out some energy and get into the zone, so to speak. So I invite you all to close your eyes. Nice deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth with a HA sound. Now you can do the ha as loudly or as quietly as you like. Nice deep inhale through the nose. Pull the energy up to the top of your head and exhale through the belly, HA sound. One last inhale, biggest inhale. Pull the energy up, 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 all the way above to the crown of your head, above the crown of the head. And as you exhale, push the energy down into the core, the absolute center of the core of the earth. Now gently opening your eyes. What this helps to do is to just help you open up to receive the messages that are clearly coming in from a higher power. I am just here to share these messages with you, and by pushing the energy downwards into the ground, this helps you to anchor and to fully integrate these energies and these messages into your life here. So to begin, the first card we have is Trust, All Will Be Well. Yes, beautiful souls. So we celebrated the summer solstice on the 21st of June a few days ago. This would be considered the winter solstice here in the southern hemisphere. I'm not sure if that really works, but anyways, it basically means that we reached the halfway mark of 2023, and I'm not sure about you guys, but it feels like these months have gone really fast, but also feels like so many things have happened, almost like multiple lifetimes have happened in such a short period of time. And please comment below if you have been feeling something similar and share some of the challenges or incredible things that have been happening in your life in the past 6 months. So I guess this first card is just letting you know that with all the trials and tribulations that you might have experienced in these 6 months as well, trust that all will be well. Yes, remember that change is the only constant in the universe. It's the only thing that we know is constantly happening. There is always change that is taking place. And the more averse we are to change, the more difficult this period will be, because remembering, beautiful souls, that we are going through a period of evolution, and not only is Mother Earth evolving, but we, her inhabitants, are also evolving with her. So we are being called to change, and realizing that, change isn't always comfortable for all of us. And this is why we are being reminded by the universe that, yes, all will be well, because the change is happening for us. But again, remembering that we have the ability to also be in control of the change that we desire. So remember that it is important to be aware of what it is um, that what it is that you are, that you are wanting and that you are calling in for yourselves. And we have the card here, be decisive, and then we have the card, go for your dreams. So yes, you are being told that all will be well if you go for your dreams, and that you are decisive about this. So many of us, we make decisions, and then we make that decision and we feel good about it, and then what happens is we'll go and we'll share it with people around us, and maybe people around us won't be so as excited about our idea as we are, because, well, they don't see things the same way we do, and so they might start to ask questions, and they might start to have doubts, and they might start to be like, are you sure you want to do that? Is that really the best thing for you? But remember, be decisive for yourself. Decide why it is that you are doing this. So yes, when you are going after your dreams, be decisive. Decide that every single thing that you do from this moment forward is getting you closer to your dreams and is aligned with you connecting with your dreams. Because something that I think about often is how often people say, oh, I want this, or these are my goals, or this is where I aspire to be, but then they have difficulty getting there. And why is that? Is because they forget that every single decision that we are making is actually forging our current reality. It isn't one decision that determines our whole destiny. So it's remembering that every single small, no matter how small that decision is, should really be aligned with whatever it is that you are being decisive about, and making sure that it is aligning you with your dreams. So just make it a habit moving forward that every single time you make a decision, ask yourself, okay, is this getting me closer to the dreams that I have for myself? And remembering that when we desire something, even if it is something in the material, physical world that we desire, maybe I desire a new car. So instead of me simply focusing on the new car, what we tend to forget is that we have to now become the version of ourselves that can drive that car, or that can afford that car. Because let's say I want I don't know, a Porsche, and I am not an abundant person, then maybe I will, that when I say, oh, I want a Porsche, maybe the thoughts might come in as like, oh, well, how am I ever going to afford that? Or how can I ever buy that car? Or whatever it may be. But I have to connect with the version of me that doesn't have those doubts, because if I then have those doubts, then I am not going to be the version of me who drives the Porsche. I will be the version of me that drives, I don't know, maybe the Peugeot or whatever. So remembering, trusting that all will be well. And there is a deep need to trust in yourself. And the next card that we have here is be proud of yourself. Yes, beautiful souls, be proud of how far you've come. Be proud of who you are at this moment, because who you are today is not who you were yesterday. It's not who you were the day before that. So it isn't until we sometimes take the time to stop and look back to how far we've come and where we are now, to be like, hey, actually, I should be proud of myself because I've accomplished X, Y, and Z. So, please let us know in the comments down below. What are you proud of in yourself at this moment? What accomplishments have you overcome, and challenges have you overcome, and what accomplishments have you made for yourself? Because if you are not proud of yourself, then it's going to be very difficult for you to trust that all is well, because you don't trust in yourself. So remembering that everything first starts internally before it moves outward. So if we don't trust in ourselves, then it becomes very difficult to trust in the world around us, or to trust in other people. So it's important to start to cultivate whatever it is that we desire first inside of ourselves, and that will then naturally start to expand into the world around us. So interesting, we have full moon in Cancer here. Let your fears dissolve. Yes, such cute little card here with the moon and the Cancer, the crab. And we've recently just moved into Cancer season. Remember, Cancer season is all about very nurturing energy. It's a very feminine sign. It is dominated by the moon here, and the moon is all about our emotions and our intuition, and our sort of our creativity and the way we feel and the way sort of what prompts us to make decisions. So at this time, we are being asked to dissolve our fears and to nurture ourselves, because when we are proud in ourselves, then it will be easier for us to start to let go of the things that it is that we fear, because most of the times we fear not being able to do something because, well, we don't love ourselves and we don't trust ourselves and we don't have pride in ourselves. We constantly look outside for others to give us validation because we can't seem to find that within ourselves, and we can't seem to do these things for ourselves. And so it's very important at this time, with this Cancerian energy here, to be nurturing to yourself and to take the time to question, well, where is it that I can nurture myself? Where is it that I can be kinder to myself? Where is it that I can be more supportive to myself? Where is it that I can continue to build trust and pride in myself so that I can start to have trust and faith in the world around me that is getting us closer to the dreams that we desire? But again, we have to be decisive. So, this is a good question to ask yourselves. Where are you holding on to fears, and where do you feel that these fears are blocking you from going after your dreams? And where are you not being able to be decisive? Because most of the times we tend to vacillate between, okay, I'm going to do this, or no, I'm not going to do this, or yes, I am, or no, I'm not, because the fear comes up. And the thing is, we all have fear. We all have fear, but it's about finding courage. Because when we find courage, it means that even though we feel the fear, we find it within ourselves, we trust in ourselves, and we have pride in ourselves to overcome this fear and to do it anyways. And sometimes remembering that fear is only the fear of the unknown, because we tend to have a tendency to believe that everything that we fear or everything that is unknown is negative. But I can assure you that there is something very, very positive that is in the works here. But unless we're tuning into it, and unless we're doing our internal work, and unless we are taking time to go inwards and reflect and question what it is that we desire and what it is that is holding us back from these desires, then we're just going to keep going back and forth, and we're never really going to get to where it is that we desire to be. So keep your heart open. Look at this beautiful card. Keep your heart open. This is beautiful. All this. And what's interesting is that the two cards that we had previously, it's a lot of green going on here. And so remembering that green is the color of the heart chakra. So yes, a lot of us are, being called to open up our hearts. And if you haven't had a chance to watch the reading where you that talks about your heart is being healed on a higher level, then I suggest you go and watch that after this one, because yes, we are really, and in order to trust in ourselves and to trust in the world around us, then we have to feel good within ourselves. And the only way that we can really feel good within ourselves is when there is love inside of our hearts. So if our hearts are not open, then it is very difficult for us to receive, because we receive through the heart. And, the first thing that comes to mind here is love, right? We receive love through our hearts. And love comes in many different shapes and sizes. But if we are wanting to receive what is coming to us, if we are wanting to receive our dreams, then we must remain open. We must have faith. We must have trust. We must believe that everything truly is working out for us and that all will truly be well. So honor your feelings. Yes, there's definitely been a bit of an emotional roller coaster in the over the past few years. And, even for those of us who are beginning to get more and more sturdy and dealing with these emotional ups and downs. And the thing is, it happens to all of us. Emotions are the driving force of the human experience, that we don't really know what's happening unless we're feeling things, and we're constantly feeling things. It's just how aware are we of what we're feeling and why we're feeling them? Is it that we are allowing external forces to affect the way we're feeling without us having any control over it? Because then, if that is the case, then perhaps there is a need to check in with your emotional body and to just see, okay, how emotionally intelligent are you? And emotional intelligence simply means how well you're able to read your emotions and be in control of them, but also gauge how your emotions are affecting other people and how other people's emotions are affecting you. Because if, let's say you work with several colleagues, and one of these colleagues tends to be quite moody, and always is getting angry. And if you know that him getting angry or her getting angry has a tendency to then trigger you to start getting angry, and that has, a sort of snowball effect where you get angry, so then you start being moody, and then you trigger other people, well, then that's unhelpful. So if you're aware of that, then maybe the best thing is to move away from that person, or simply just not engage with that person when they're moody, or simply let them know that their mood is affecting you, and that maybe they should take some time to become familiar as to why they have so much anger within them. Because, if you have more information about others and this information can help people heal, then it is important that we share this information with other people, because at the end of the day, we're all connected. And even if that person is external to you but has the ability to affect your mood, well, then you're connected because their energy is affecting your energy. And, it's just a continuous loop and a continuous cycle. So, yes, honor your feelings. If there is something that you don't want to do, then don't do it. If there is something that you absolutely want to do, like going after your dreams, then do it. Honor your feelings, and don't let other people minimize or negate your feelings, because we are remembering that we are all very unique individual beings, and we're all going through our own individual process. And so it isn't about negating or minimizing what anyone else is feeling, but just taking the time to honor whatever it is that you are feeling, and taking the time to sit with it, and taking time to do whatever you need. If you are feeling stuck in sort of more low vibrational emotions, then take time to sit with it and question, okay, why it is that you're feeling this way, and allow yourself to feel whatever emotions you're feeling within your body. But don't get stuck there. Don't wallow. There is no need to wallow, because when we wallow, it's very easy to get into that victim mentality and start playing, oh, poor me, the world is against me. And remembering, beautiful souls, that the world is not out to get us. Everything that happens in our lives happens because it is a moment for us to learn. It is a moment for us to be taught. It is a moment for us to move from one space into the other. And now, remembering, we always have free choice. So we have the freedom to decide how it is that we want to deal with the situation. So yes, just being aware of whatever you're feeling, and flowing with it. So again, yes, coming back to the be decisive, forgive and forget. Um, so yes, forgiveness is a big one at this time, because we are all being asked to make space for new things to come in. And think about it this way, when when you move into your house, let's say you lived in a bigger house and you had lots of furniture, and then for whatever reason you move into a smaller house because maybe it's just more fitting, or the energy of this house is just, well, better suited to you. And maybe you have to downsize some of the furniture because it doesn't all fit, or maybe it does fit, but it makes the whole space feel very cluttered. So you have to get rid of some of that furniture so that there is more space. So it's the same concept here with forgiveness, right? Um, that even things that were done to us in our past, and if people don't apologize to us, and if people don't see the error of their ways, then it can be very difficult for us to move on, and it can be very difficult for us to forgive. But it's realizing that forgiveness, it happens for ourselves, because when something negative has been done to us by somebody else and we don't forgive them, we're basically carrying the energy of that thing around us, and we feel angry and we feel resentment. And it's like when you have that anger, I mean, personally, I feel it as a really tight ball in my chest, and I know that when I start to tune into that anger, because I know that it is very easy for me to flip and to get into that anger, that I don't allow myself to dwell there, because there are so many things that make me angry, like all the injustices in the world. But if I get stuck there, then I can really start to feel the rage building, and that's not helpful. So, when we continue to tell ourselves a story on, and oh, this person did this, and oh, this happened, and oh, that person did that, and oh, this happened, and because this happened I couldn't do that, and blah blah blah, these are all excuses. And I'm sorry to put it bluntly, but the ego part of us, our pain body, are the parts of us that haven't forgiven, the parts of us that haven't forgotten what was done to us or what happened, then that anger just sits within us, and it's very difficult for us to move on, because we're constantly just feeling that energy. And when that energy of anger is here, it's very difficult for me to then tune into the energy of joy and happiness, because I'm angry. But if I want to be in joy, then I have to be like, okay, I'm going to forget about the joy and I'm going to forgive, because at the end of the day, forgiveness is one of the most powerful energies, and is one of the most powerful ways for you to shift from being in a low vibrational emotion or energy or frequency into a high vibrational frequency. So just take a moment to think about it. Take a moment to think about something that you are willing to forgive and forget. And now, when we talk about forgiveness, I'm not saying you have to go and love the person who did wrong unto you, but simply just choosing to no longer let that be what's constantly on your mind. Because if that's constantly on your mind, something that happened in the past is still affecting you very much now in the present, and is also affecting the way you're going to move into the future, because it's affecting the way you make decisions, it's affecting the way you see the world, it's affecting your emotional vibrational frequency, which is going to directly have an impact on the way you make decisions. So it's really important to forgive and forget, and just leave the past in the past, and realize that now is a time to move forward. And if you want better and more positive changes to enter your dreams, if you want your dreams to come true, then it is important to forgive and forget. It is important to forgive and forget all those people who said you wouldn't be capable of making your dreams come true. Well, forgive and forget, because forgive them, because they couldn't see what you see. They didn't have the energy and the willpower and the support of the universe to make these dreams come true. So forgive them and show them, inspire them, teach them that they too can make their dreams come true. Because what happens, when what most people don't realize, is that when we're out there living our best life and living our dreams, we're inspiring and showing so many other people that they can do it too. And yes, there will always be haters out there, but those haters are also what gives us fuel to move upwards and to continue doing better. And so see yourself as being an inspiration for others, just when you are living your dream and just when you are living your best life. Wow. First house. I just absolutely love the imagery on this card. If you can see that well. And so, the stag, I think this is a stag. The stag is a very spiritual animal, and really relates to connecting with our deep inner spirituality and to opening up. And remember, the first house in astrology relates to the self. It also relates to the head. But the first house is Aries energy, and the Aries energy is what gives us the fire to initiate something. So the best way I can describe Aries energy is that first spark when you light a match. You can almost miss the spark, but that spark is necessary to ignite the whole match, so that you then have fire. So, so the numerology here is 3, and the 3 is all about creativity. It's all about communication, and remembering that we communicate not only through our words, but in the things that we do. So by you going after your dreams, this is you communicating to the world that that you too can be free and do whatever it is that you are wanting and whatever it is that you are desiring. And so this card is showing that you have the energy, that the energy of Aries, the energy of initiation is very present at this time. But are you going to find the are you going to be able to dissolve those fears that came with that Cancer energy, to be able to take action and to initiate the change? Interesting that the next card we have here is Uranus with change, because, well, change, as we said at the beginning, change is the only constant. Change is the only thing that is happening. But now, when we are the ones who initiate change, then the change doesn't feel so scary. For example, when we say, "Hey, okay, I'm going to move to a new city, or I'm going to move to a new country, or I'm going to quit my job and start a new job." These are all changes that we are making, changes that we are choosing to make. And when we are the ones who take the first step towards the change, then the change isn't so scary. So what really this message is sharing is that you have the ability to make the changes that you desire in your life, and you have the energy and the willpower and the support here to be able to make the changes that you desire a reality. But it is about you taking action. You can no longer be a bystander in your own life. You have the ability to drive the change and create the reality that it is that you desire. We are living through truly, truly magical times. And with the Uranus card here, Uranus dominates Aquarius. They say that we are now in the age of Aquarius. In the age of Aquarius, if you think about the energy that Aquarius brings us, it's all about higher mind and higher thinking. It is about instigating, and it is initiating great change that is going to change for the collective, not just for the individual. But when we change on the individual level, we're also affecting change on the collective level. So we are really being asked to initiate the change that we desire, and to start creating the change that we desire to see in the world. And I think it was Gandhi who said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And yes, we are all part of birthing in the new earth. We are creating the foundations of the new world. But we are all actively involved in planting the seeds and creating the foundation of what this world is going to look like. But it's important that we take the time to go inwards and really think about whatever the change is that we desire. But interesting, the numerology on this Uranus card here is a 7. Remember, 2023 is a 7 universal year, and the archetype of the 7 is about truth with a capital T. The truth, what is our inherent truth? Because many of us have been led to follow the mainstream narrative that we are all supposed to think in a very boxed kind of way. But maybe the truth that has been spun out there is not everybody's truth, which is why so many people are deviating and so many changes are happening, because we are really being asked to think about the higher truth, the universal truth, the truth of what ties us all together, and realize that massive changes are happening at this time, and changes that are happening, at the levels of our DNA, where other strands of our DNA are being activated. And no one, it's hard to really put into words what that looks like, because, well, we really don't know. But it's literally that we are evolving. And if any of you have watched the movie Lucy, great movie, highly recommend that you guys watch it. It really shows that, what happens when we start to increase the amount of brain capacity that we're using, and realizing that our brain capacity is not just our thinking mind, but it's also our emotional mind, it's our spiritual mind. It's realizing that our body holds innate wisdom that, unless we're tuning into it, we're just not even aware that it's there. So it's being open to the fact that so much new information is available and is coming to you, as long as you are open to it. So the next card we have here is By the Book. Interestingly, the numerology is 11. 11 is the number of the high priestess. It's the number of being able to connect to higher powers. It is the number of intuition. And so, again, you out there are really being called to tune in more deeply to your intuition and be aware of what your intuition is saying, because we are really being asked to communicate with our or through our higher minds, because there is information that is coming through at this time that isn't by the book, that isn't sort of fitting in to this 3D narrative that has been ongoing for so long. Because really, I still don't believe that we came into this world to pay, to pay bills and taxes and not to be free. Because really, when I tune into the energy of freedom, it does not feel that currently the world that we are living in is free. Many people are still boxed into the limitations of the way they think because of the narrative that has continued to be spun, where we continue to be told that we as human beings are so small, but yet we are supercomputers. I mean, still people who are into science and medicine, still trying to understand where consciousness resides in the body, and still they haven't been able to find answers, because it's by realizing that sometimes things aren't in the book, in that they aren't tangible. A lot of the information that is coming in at this time is not tangible and written in a book. It is information that is coming in through alternative ways of communication, through intuition, through non-verbal communication, through spiritual downloads and just sudden knowings of information about things. Because as the world is evolving, the information that we need to move into the next parts, well, they don't yet exist on this realm, because if they did, well, don't you think that we would be acting on them by now? Wow, interesting. The next card we have here is regeneration. And, interestingly, there are a lot of wildfires that seem to be randomly taking place all around the world at the same time. And, you know, there's always a when you sorry, what am I trying to say? So basically, when there is a burning of land, it actually helps to regenerate the soil, because the ash from the fire is actually very regenerative, and it's full of nutrients that helps the earth to regenerate herself. So in a way, we are going through a time where everything must burn, and it makes me think of this forgive and forget card, where we have to burn everything down to the ground so something new can come out. When farmers are no longer able to farm because the soil has been depleted of all of its nutrients, then they will burn to regenerate the soil. So this is exactly what is happening at this time. Mother Earth is literally burning herself down to regenerate. It is creating a new energy, a new frequency. And this is also what is happening to you. I mean, how many volcanoes are burning at this time? And if you look closely, as much as there is, sort of a dead tree, if you look closely, you can really see the flowers there already blooming on this somewhat dead tree. And the numerology is a 1. So it is all about new beginnings. There are new beginnings that are coming into play at this time, whether it is in your individual life or as much as it is on a collective level, because we are being asked to regenerate ourselves. Our cells are being regenerated, our DNA is being regenerated, our earth is being regenerated, our air is being regenerated, the cosmos and the galaxies are being regenerated. And if you just think about how quickly time is going, it is because things are speeding up, and it's almost like we are in in a portal where we are quantum leaping, and many, many massive changes are possible at this time. If we can just get enough people to tune into the same frequencies, then these energies will happen exponentially, and the change will happen almost instantaneously. But for us to be able to know, if everyone is saying, yes, we want change, but it is important that each individual person start to define, well, what is the change that they desire to see on an individual level as well as on a collective level? Because unless we are clear and aware and can visualize the change it is that we want to bring into this world, then nothing is going to change. We have to be able to see it before it exists so that we can create it into existence. And the last card we have here is here and now. And the numerology is a 5. Again, massive change. Massive change is happening in the here and now. We must stop being so focused on the past. We must stop being so focused on all those who wronged us and holding on to all those energies that blocked us in the past, and stop allowing and stop blocking ourselves to moving into the future and be here in the present now, because the present moment, past, present, and future all exist at the same time. I mean, right now I can think about my past, and right now I can think about my future. But right now is when we have the ability to create. You know, a beautiful book that I highly recommend is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This book literally changed my life and really helps you to better understand the importance of living in the present. Remember, a present is a gift. So being in the present is a gift. When we are living in the present moment, we see the gift of life. We can be receptive to all the gifts that life is sharing with us in every moment if we are living in the here. If we are constantly thinking about everything going on a million miles away in the past or in the future, then we're not being present. We are not being the gift. We are not being. We're lost somewhere in anxiety or in stress or in sadness, because if we can't be here now, it's because we're either wanting to be in the future because we're not happy with where things are now, or wishing we were in the past or thinking about the past because, again, we're not happy with what's happening here and now. But remembering that we create our reality. Each and every single one of us has the ability to create the dream life that we have for ourselves. But we can only do it if we're here and now. We can only do it if we are being fully present in our bodies and questioning what it is that we desire and believing that everything is working out in our highest divine interest. So say it here with me now. You know, a great affirmation that I have used for years, which really shifted my reality, is everything is working. Everything is working for me. Everything is working in my highest divine interest. Everything comes to me with ease and grace. Change comes to me naturally. So think about some different affirmations that you can use that will help you to anchor this change in and be the initiator for change, because when you initiate change, you are the one in control. And we all want to feel like we have some control of our lives, and there is nothing wrong with being in control of our lives. That is what we are being called to be, is to be a master of our lives. So when we are in mastery of our life, then we can create the changes that we desire. So beautiful souls, know that you are creating powerful change. We are all creating powerful change. But now more than ever, it is important that we be super intentional about the change it is that we desire and the change that we are bringing in. So much love to you all, and please like and share the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you wish to hear more of these videos. Much love to you all.